It is exciting. I've never gone to commentate a slippery run before. Uh, what kind of times would you expect from runners of this caliber in a race setting? You know, like what's a reasonably good time, just so the people who aren't as familiar. All right, looks like we got
It's me,
mostly
Mario.
synced up.
Yeah, we'll get them completely during the intro, of course. But in regards to the times, that's the thing. I mean, it's 16 star, right? And I always talk about how 16 star it has the MIPS clip, it has Fire C early cycle, it has the throws, it has BLJs. There's a lot of 16 star specific things that can kind of go wrong for reasons that you're not quite sure why they're there or what they are. But things can go wrong, and I imagine things will go wrong in the course of these 2 or 3 races that we're about to watch here. But realistically, sub 16s, sub 17s are where these runners are going to be looking to aim their times without too much major mistakes, hopefully.
So you guys can see it's perfectly synced up now. So we're going to have a really cool, fair, even race between these two, at least from a technical perspective. And it's up to the runners to see whether or not they can execute all the tricks. Obviously, the first trick being Lakitu skip. I doubt we'll see a Lakitu skip miss from runners of these caliber, and they both nail it. Now we're on to the backwards lobby backwards long jump. One of the hardest tricks in the game, in my opinion. I know for these guys, they make it look easy, but very easy to mess up or do slowly. And it's almost like we're watching a mirror match right now. Unfortunately, Benji goes through the front door, very common mistake. And so that gives Slippery the early lead.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, as you mentioned it is very easy to mess up if you do too many BLJs inside the pillar, too few. And there he is. He's jumping out the pillar again. It's a very hard position to maintain, of course. It's a very precise trick. Once you're practiced at it, it doesn't become too much of an issue, but small things, really.
And if you were doing world record attempts, like I watched Slippery, at least I used to watch him every single night when I used to stay up a lot later. And it was very, oh no, a death and so oh my gosh. So from a huge lead to actually now Benji in the lead right now. So that's how crazy this category can be. But what I was saying was that a very common sort of thing would be him starting up the stream, getting through that intro, and then messing up the BLJ. Even if he gets it, maybe just a little too slow for his liking, and reset right there. So it's a very common very common reset point for runners for sure.
Yeah, this is an incredible race so far, at least in terms of the content. I mean, a Death in Dark World, and of course a failed LBLJ. 2 if you count the jump out of the pillar from Benji. And Benji sliding down that slope again, gonna be taking a pretty significant time loss. I mean,
These guys are neck and neck.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's pretty close. I mean, it's significant in a run this short. It's significant for sure, but it's not insurmountable, and it's really something that Benji, I'm sure if he's watching the race, is quite happy about. That Slippery slipped up there.
Yeah, Slippery slip. The thing is, I actually thought like it was over after the BLJ fail. I'm not gonna lie, and oh, something's going on.
Benji stops, dropped the controller, or the controller switcher, unlucky. So the runners at this level, they're actually using 2 different controllers for Bowser throws.
Yeah, we can talk. Do you have one of these, Boxman?
I do not. I am a Hori main. For all of the game, I use my Hori pad as opposed to just for throws.
So, for those of you who don't know how it works, there's a special device. You can connect many controllers to N64, but only the first player can actually move Mario. So in order to make both controllers first player, there's this device you can plug into your N64 that's a controller switcher. And you can use that device to switch between a Hori gamepad, which looks like a GameCube controller, and the traditional N64 controller. And I guess Benji couldn't find the Hori, or something messed up with the device. Actually, by the way, I don't want to... So looks like we are seeing texture setup from Slippery, not Salt. Benji is going for Salt, but he unfortunately misses it. He's going to have to back it up with Wild Blue.
Yeah, this is really unfortunate to see in Slipperynip. He went for the full setup there, and it was something that I was rather surprised to see, but perhaps a safety measure from the shakiness in Dark World. And Benji went for the Salt Candleless, but what didn't pay off in this instance for him, especially after that controller switcher mishap. So he's going to be going into like almost a one-star deficit here.
Yeah,
We'll see.
I actually, sorry, sorry, doctor. What is your nickname? What do people like? What's the good
You know,
nickname for you?
I hear Dry a lot. I mean, I like all the different mispronunciations, but Dry is the, I guess, official.
All right, Dry. I'll remember that. So, Dry. You know what I was saying was that it's just interesting. By the way, he does nail Salt in the second attempt. It's just so interesting to see how back and forth this goes, and how that little extra time save you get from Salt Cannonless, is it worthwhile? And I guess for Slip it wasn't. So a bit of a a very up and down run, very back and forth. Quite exciting actually.
Yeah, exactly. And I mentioned that it's kind of a 16-star thing with the late game 16-star exclusive strats, but as a whole, SM64 as a game, there's a lot of small misinputs on the controller, lots of tiny mistakes that are small, like in real life, just tiny, like mispress on the button, mistimings, that can have big results in the game. So it's really
Spe-
unfortunate to see runners mess up small things like that.
Speaking of which, this is the stage 4 tiny mistakes. SSL has a few tricks where if you just mess up a tiny bit, you're dead, and 30-second might be lost. So Slippery nails Pillarless and clips into the pyramid. So that was really good. Can Benji fight right back? It looks like he's got it as well. Want to see if he gets a clean clip into the corner of the pyramids. What he's looking, not quite as clean, but pretty good nonetheless. So he's staying neck and neck. Next trick, I wonder if we will see Fly Guyless. We do not, which is fine. Fly Guyless saves a small fraction of time and is much harder. So we go for the very classic Fly Guy spin to get the Klepto star, and Slippery maintains his 1-star lead. Does Benji? Nope, also going for Fly Guy. So the way you know if they're going for it or not is they will do a, what do they call it? The slide. I call it the breakdance move, and it looks really sick,
Yeah,
but it's
so
very difficult.
it's frame perfect, yeah, so you can't have any dust there. And they did do a frame perfect speed single jump there, pretty fancy to maintain more speed than as opposed to just doing a rollout, which will cap your speed at the normal movement speed of Mario as opposed to keeping sliding speed, which is pretty cool.
Very clean SSL from both players, really. Slippery on to LLL. It looks like he's going for the red coin star first. This one is probably the easiest star in the game. I don't think there are many easy stars, to be honest with you, but this was the one that maybe you could pull off at home, but certainly not as quickly. It actually, there's a lot that goes into maintaining that pace. They can't just simply do dive rollouts. You might notice they have to stop a little bit, maintain an angle. It's actually quite challenging to do that fast, and they both nail it.
Yeah, beautiful. The camera movements there, I mean, again, that's kind of more of a muscle memory star. And here's Slipperynip, we're going to be seeing, of course, we're in the LBLJ route, so he's going to be heading into the volcano first for a lava boost.
Ooh! I didn't think we were getting lava boost strats. I've been watching a lot of these runs, and and the pole jumps, unfortunately, just misses the star, the easy part, but very solid from Slippery. We see Benji nail the corner wall jump, and very good match. A lot of people will go for the elevator star. Don't know how much slower it is, but much safer. Slippery going for the lava boost, which is a very swag star. I guess he's going for, nope, corner jump from Slippery. These guys just make this look so easy. Guys, try this at home. Just getting it once is impressive, and these guys can do it.
You need your camera setup, at least in my experience, needs to be perfect from the very beginning. Official name is Logless or Side Hop, depending on who you ask. Benji, of course, nailing the lava boost as well, very exciting, and his pull jumps, and his overall star is going to be a little bit cleaner than Slipperynip's, and those small time saves are going to add up, and they're going to compound for Benji.
So we'll see. I've seen a couple methods. I think Slippery's probably going to go for the ground pound. He does. And if he's fast enough, he should get to the stairs just as they're about to spawn. And I think that's perfect, right? Like, I don't think you can get much better than that.
That was absolutely beautiful. Benji gonna see if he can match that. His ground pound doesn't kill the big bully, and that's gonna be pretty big mistake. And again, like that's a small thing, not being able to kill the bully on the first ground pound, but that he's got to walk back around and turn back around towards you, and then it messes
Oh,
up his long
no!
jump setup to get onto these platforms. So that's the
At
small
least he doesn't
mistake.
take a death.
And that is very true. Not dying is the ultimate time save.
Oh, oh my god, no way.
The GTM
See
slide.
Hey, that's some swag strats right there. I think I don't remember Slippery starting with that one. Usually I thought he starts with the corner box jump, but very swag, slightly faster, really cool. We will see what Benji's going for. It looks like he is going for that box jump, very difficult star, and nails it on the first try. That's going to be big because a lot of players can mess that up, take 2 or 3 attempts. They both nail it on the first attempt. Really good to see. Very difficult to get that.
It is. I talk about it every time I commentate a 16-star race, but that triple jump is a lot harder than it looks. Your positioning and maneuvering Mario while you're out of bounds, avoiding death planes and invisible walls, it's very impressive. And again, it's muscle memory for these runners, but there's a lot of mechanical skill that goes into these stars.
So, still a one-star lead. I have baseball in my mind. 1-star lead for Slippery heading into HMC. He has 2 more stars, arguably 2 of the simpler stars to get. Unfortunately, Benji does avoid the boulder, but at what cost? He's going to do left side to get amazing emergency exit. Oh, sorry, he only has 1 more star. Excuse me. Benji had 2 more stars, and we're ready to do MIPS, and I think we're going to see a punch MIPS grab, if I'm not mistaken, from Slip. I don't think he's going to go for dive MIPS, and Benji's still missing amazing emergency exit, so he's going to go get that, and we do get the punch. Very risky, but faster. And
yeah, exactly. And those small, minute things that save fractions of a second, to me, that's indicative of Slipperynip feeling comfortable with himself, feeling good about moving the red man, as we said, as opposed to just trying to play to keep safe. He's trying to play the game, you know?
Well, Slip, you know, I follow Slip on Twitch, and every single night, you know, I see him go live around 11, 12 a.m. Eastern Time, and it's every single day, and I feel like at that point, actually, I'm surprised he's not going for chip clip here, but it doesn't really matter, it doesn't save that much time, but he's doing this every single day, you know, you really, really develop a familiarity and a comfort level with the game if you're playing it that often every single day. Unfortunately, Benji not really getting a clean door clip from Mips there, took him a couple attempts. And by the time he's going to get through the 30-star door, already Slip has done front sub and some lag reduction strats. 16 stars acquired, but of course, the hardest part of the run left to go. Benji also, oh, maybe he is going for chip clip. He is going for the chip clip. Not bad.
Yeah, it's not a major time save at all, but it is a pretty cool strat to see. Quite recently discovered by Chip Groove. Slipperynip here nails his pole glitch. Not quite gonna get the optimal jump off the pole. He's gonna still make the cycle very comfortably, but...
And that's that, you know, when you see lower level, I did a couple runs of, you know, not quite world record contender players. Making that cycle is a huge deal, wastes quite a bit of time to have to wait there. And we see Slippery go left side. I don't know if that's what he does in world record. I don't think he does that anymore. I think he'll do the much more risky right side, but very clean into Bowser at 13-12. Not bad at all. Benji also nailing pole glitch, a much cleaner jump off. So it's going to come down to BLJs at the end of the day. Unless we get something crazy like a missed Bowser throw here. We're going to get BLJ deciding 16-star once again, and pretty par for the course if you know, you ask me.
Nice. Benji is going to be going for that ultimate fire. See, we mentioned the fire platforms are not favorable for him now.
Yeah, that's the risk we were talking about when you go for ultimate, is that sometimes just things don't line up if you're just a little off your timing. And that's why, although left side's slightly slower, you were talking about this, is these small little optimizations, fraction of seconds, in some cases, you know, costing yourself fraction of seconds. Oh, he ledge grabbed. That's what happened. He ledge grabbed on the jump up the to the highest platform. I saw that. We're down to BLJs. I would say this first set, would you agree, Dry, is the much harder one? Nail. Oh, wow.
Yeah, for sure. Not necessarily just because of the nature of the BLJ, but because you have to jump back down every time, as opposed to Infinite Staircase, you can kind of reposition yourself right where you are every time. Benji's controller switcher continuing to have some issues there.
I feel like at this point it might just be beneficial to stick with the OEM N64 gamepad. You know, I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not watching the stream, but yeah, he's lost about, I'd say, 15 to 30 seconds just off of the switcher not doing its job.
Yeah, I mean, his early game lead after Slip's death in Dark World was completely mitigated by that controller switcher issue.
Yeah, I actually thought he was trying to be like sportsmanlike and wait for Slip for some reason. I couldn't understand what was going on.
Benji's controllers continue to have issues, sending him right off the edge. This is a truly unfortunate circumstance for Benji here. Some strong hardware issues costing him a lot of time here.
What? I didn't even see what happened there. I think he's basically forfeiting at this point. He's paused.
Yeah, there seemed to be some controller drift of some sort, sending him right off the edge. He was just holding left there, and it's as good as done at this point. Truly an unfortunate circumstance. Perhaps some collusion on the side of his switcher. We'll have to get a hardware check on that for now. But in the meantime, we're gonna see Slipperynip enter his Bowser phase.
Just bye.
Sure. I don't know if I may be disconnected. I think. All right, I think I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. I was having technical problems right there. They just missed Bowser show. That's unfortunate, but right now it's all, you know, they're just supposed to match teams Friday.
Clean Bowser throws from Slipperynip to close it out. He's going to be getting a mid-16, and as I mentioned, a sub-17 time is where he's going to be looking at, despite a death in Dark World.
Yeah, that's a pretty good race time, 16:30. Not bad at all. Very unfortunate for Benji. It's really frustrating when something beyond your control, technology-wise, messes you up. There's nothing you can do about that, and yeah, just very, very unfortunate.
Now we're gonna have to see in race 2, assuming that he's just gonna go with manually switching his controllers, perhaps, or something like that.
That's risky. Have you ever tried manually switching a controller? The N64 sometimes doesn't like to play nice with that.
Yeah, that's true. It can get a little rough, but it is also equally risky, I would argue, to spin your N64 stick and destroy that.
Did my mic turn off?
I think you're good now.
Okay. Yeah, I had a problem. The mic, I accidentally disconnected my mic, so that would not be good. Technical problems are commonplace. The only problem with unplugging the switcher, the one thing with unplugging the switcher and using it manually is that you can get crooked cartridge, or just you know, a total like crash. My cartridge is pretty bad like that. If I even touch the N64, it's done. You know, like it's frozen. It's over, and that really sucks.
Yeah, it's certainly hardware dependent, so I'm not sure what's gonna happen here. But we're gonna let Benji solve some issues here, whether that be get rid of the switcher or figure out what's wrong with it. But a lot of people certainly suggesting him to get rid of the switcher at this point, himself even saying that he can throw it into the trash can.
Nothing is worse than when you can't control something that costs you a game, you know? Like, I watch a lot of hockey. I don't know if you guys watch hockey. Sometimes the stick just explodes on you. There's nothing you can do. You just have to kind of... If your cartridge is clean, it shouldn't tilt easily. It's possible. I'm not sure why. It could be just the... it could be my connector on my N64 is, you know, loose. I don't know what it is, but if I even touch my N64, it freezes, so... Very unfortunate for Benji. Yeah, it's not the way you want to see a run like this go down, but So
yeah,
I
we're
guess
gonna see. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I was gonna say, yeah, you go ahead, Dry. I was gonna say we're gonna see what's gonna happen right now. I'm not sure whether we're doing a second match, whether we're gonna wait. I'm not sure what's going on right now.
Yeah, given that we are, if we do a second race here, and I imagine we will, yeah, Benji's saying he's ready in chat, so we're excited to see the second race. But in regards to the second race, with Benji not using the switcher, we'll see how well he can reset the mental, because of course, not only is playing bad gonna do bad things and losing the race gonna do things for your mentality, but also like losing it to something that's completely out of your control, that is incredibly tilting to me, at least personally. I would not be able to play a second race.
Now, I didn't see, you know, I'm having, just because my monitor, I have our chat open. I just have a bunch of things open. Is Benji, let me just look at what he's saying. Is he going to just use the OEM controller for everything? Or is he going to use Hori for, you know what I mean? Because that might be very difficult for sure. Trying to use a controller you're not used to, even if it's just for Bowser throws. That's not going to be easy. There's a lot of comfort and familiarity runners have with what they've used their whole lives.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even like differences between two different controllers, even if they are two different OEM N64 controllers, it's can be pretty significant in terms of angles. And the N64 controller and stick debate is not something I necessarily want to get into here, because there's been some drama and whatnot. But at the end of the day, all you really need to know is that runners do not do throws with their normal N64 controllers for durability reasons.
Is there anyone who does? Is there any like big, like high profile runner who uses OEM for everything?
I mean, they've got to have a lot of money. I mean, I suppose with the steel sticks coming
With
out.
the steel stick. I'm wondering, I just, there's always somebody, you know? Like, there's always Aki spins on steel stick. Okay. So Aki, if he's the one I'm thinking of, he's a former 16 star. Yeah, he's the first sub 15. It is Aki. The first sub 15 uses steel stick. So that's crazy. Blinny
Yeah,
spins
and
on his stick.
hmm
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dry.
it's definitely just about having that re-stick and the controller bowl being made out of metal as opposed to plastic, because plastic on plastic starts to wear down the stick and it gets very loose. So if you can re-stick your controller as opposed to just having it right out of the box, then it's a lot better for throws, of course.
Now, the one thing is that Hori controllers, are they easy to find nowadays? Like, you know, I actually couldn't find one, you know, when I was looking, but I didn't look that hard. It's probably not that easy to find them in like any kind of decent condition.
Yeah, I mean, they stopped producing them years and years ago. I got mine in 2018 for like $100, and I perished that thing, so.
Yeah. Oh, unfortunately, Slippery doesn't quite catch on the BLJ, so he's gonna have to try again this time. So it's Benji out to a bit of a lead this time, and actually, oh, I didn't know if he was gonna get it. He is getting the speed, and he's through. Not the cleanest BLJ, but at least he made it through. That's gonna make things a little bit closer. Looked like Benji did the first two red coins. Those are probably, I would say, two of the hardest red coins, deceptively so. Just because it's so easy to fall or to get burned and lose a bunch of time. I don't know the cycles well, Dry. Do you know what? Oh, well, I don't know what cycle he's on now.
I was gonna say, not much of it. I think this is still a normal Shigeru, but yeah, as you said, those first two red coins are gonna set the tone for the entire stage and dictate whether they can get Shigeru or get any faster or slower cycles there. So it's good to see.
We can call this one amp cycle. Getting hit by that amp, unfortunately, their hitboxes are massive, so you know it happens, especially during a race. So we see the double jump firstie, or the firstie jump from Slippery. I watched a video about how much faster that is, like a frame or so. It's kind of funny when you compare these, but there are different ways to get up there, and good throw from Benji. Very good throw from Benji. I don't know if that was manual or if that was on the original, but worked well. Oh, Slippery just going a little wide on his throw. Oh, that's interesting. Grab
Yeah,
Bowser right. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Slipperynip show. Sorry, that's my bad. Showing off a little bit of tech there, where if Mario makes contact with Bowser's tail, you can then grab that tail from anywhere in the 360-degree circle around him. You just have to be facing the same direction as him. So it's a pretty neat trick to be able to reposition Bowser closer for a throw if you miss, and it saves you running around his tail. And Benji, we're going to see him enter Womp's Fortress with a fairly significant lead. I mean, this can be made up by simply missing Salt Quest, but hopefully he's going to be able to make the rectify the mistake that he made in the first run, rather.
I wonder if he goes for texture. Oh, he might be going for texture. Oh, yeah. So he messed up there with the long jump, accidentally ground pounded, and went. Oh, and he missed texture. That's tough. You know, when you go for your backup strat that's safer and you miss it, it's so Slippery going for the full sock folder setup. I didn't actually notice that the first time. He didn't go for texture setup. He went for full sock folder.
Yeah, so Slipperynip wanting the as much consistency as possible out of that trick. And I mean, I know we have, I believe it's Adam Ferrari, who believes, it's someone that I've commentated with, I apologize, that believes that you should always go for texture just because it saves the extra time and it's just about as consistent as that full setup. Oh, did Slipperynip, interrupting myself, double jump owl was not going to connect for him.
Yeah, I believe, is it Slippery who has the middle finger for his split on Womps? I think it is. I'm almost positive it's Slip, whose split name for Womps is just a middle finger, like, you know, drawn with like ASCII art. And I think that's why just every trick so annoying. And I'm getting confirmation it is Slip. It's one of the most deceptively annoying stages. Casually the easiest stage in the game, but in this kind of speed run, it's torturous. And it looks like Benji has a pretty, like you said before, still with a significant lead heading into SSL. And I think it's going to come down to Pillarless and, well, probably Pillarless is the hardest trick they have here.
Yeah, indeed. Barring any sort of ridiculous Mario meltdowns here, which we don't see very often in these high-octane races, it always comes down to the tricks. And that's what 16 star is. 16 star is all tricks.
So I'm assuming Benji's going to go for it right away. Okay, looks good. All right, we got it. We have got a clean Pillarless on one side. Oh, that was an interesting camera. I've never actually seen it look. And looks like we have a second Pillarless that will be successful. Pretty sick. Love to see it. Very clean from both sides.
Indeed. You love to see it. Benji going to be going for his talent start here. We're expecting to see another fly guy full, so to speak.
I've seen a couple runners when they mess up Pillarless kind of do a weird, like, over the pyramid version of Klepto. Not sure what that's even called. I've never seen that in runs, but I've seen it quite a few times during this race where they basically make contact with Klepto right on the top of the pyramid. So, not seen any of that. This star is actually really annoying when you mess up. It looks so easy, but it's very easy to ledge grab that cage or to mess up. They make it look so simple, but it's actually quite difficult.
Yeah, if you're grinding single star for this star, you'll really understand the diversity of the angle that can you can slide off of that slope with the angle, and it can be really difficult to get a fast time.
Now Benji's going for reds. Should be all right. Sometimes the biggest problem I see with reds is sometimes they cut the angle a little too sharp and they miss a red and have to go back, and that, unfortunately, just by the nature of how everything moves, is a real annoying time loss, but neither player does that. So both of them are 2 for 2 in doing that star, about as good as you could expect. Benji, if I recall correctly, went for the corner jump star. What, logless, I think you called it?
Yes.
So we're going to see it again. And once again, it's going to get nailed. I don't know if you guys noticed, there is a punch, a brief punch cancel, which gives a little bit of momentum. Slip's going to go for lava boost. I would assume, again, this is a very difficult star to do, and once again, he makes it look so easy. These jumps from the poles, so difficult, and once again, really just makes it look simple. Benji now going for it. Still in the lead, but this is a very difficult trick, and we'll see if he can nail it. He gets up, and he's got it as well. Very clean from Benji. Slippery now going for the logless, or corner jump as I call it, because I don't know what to call it. And you see that small little punch gives a little bit of momentum, and both of them now are onto the bully star. So last time, if you recall, Benji messed up just a little bit, had to go back for the bully, cost him a little bit of time. Will he be able to get that ground pound and then get the long jump? He gets the ground pound, gets the long jump. That was pretty optimal. Slip nailed it last time. Can he nail it again? A little bit of an unoptimal star grab, but not a huge deal. And that's good, right, Dry? Okay.
Yeah.
You can be a little early. I've seen someone, I know it's happened where someone spawned under the platform.
Yeah, that can become a real issue. I mean, those platforms, you are able to hop back up once you burn into them, since they're temporary, but it's going to be a real pain, for sure. Benji going to be moving to Hazy Maze Cave now, going for that triple box jump first. I'm not sure if we'll see Slipperynip change up the star from last race. And as we talk about it, as I mentioned the last race, Benji, the positioning just wasn't quite right on that triple jump, or perhaps he pressed
Oh, and we get the C up. You'd love to see it. Unfortunately, the boulders weren't super cooperative, so you had to kind of zigzag, but awesome C up. Yes, Isaac ain't here. Just what I was thinking. When you screw up that triple box jump, the ability Benji had to side flip right back into a perfect angle, that's impressive. That wasted like maybe 3 seconds, and he nails it. You know, you can waste like 10, 15 seconds if you screw up your angle. Being able to back that up perfectly like he did is almost as impressive as nailing it the first time out. Really great play from him. Not going for the C-up slide, going for the triple long jump. Boulders cooperate with Benji a little bit more than they did for Slip, and we have just one more star remaining. I think it's amazing emergency exit for both runners. Usually a pretty easy star. We see both runners go for left side strats. I don't know if there's any big runners who still go for right side. I don't think so, but...
Yeah, it tends to be a little awkward, and of course slower is what matters at this level. But yeah, Benji's... Oh, yeah, keeping it a little bit safe here.
Commentator curse!
Oh! Keeping it a little safe here and jumps right past the star. So Slipperynip starting to equalize this gap a little bit.
You know, the thing I've always said is sometimes when you're speedrunning, trying to be a little safe is dangerous because you're just not used to it as much. Now, I don't know how much Benji does that strat ordinarily, but it kind of looked a little awkward from the star ground. It could have just been a small mistake. But it's something he doesn't do regularly. That's why sometimes it can look so awkward, is you're just not, the muscle memory just simply isn't there. So, last time Benji had a bit of trouble getting through the door. And once again, Slippery is able to get through the door much cleaner. And this has led to a virtual tie. Benji with a slight lead. And unfortunately does not get the clean clip through 30 star. It takes him 2, now 3 times to get through. Does the somersault method, which is fine, but it's going to result in Slip taking a slight lead here. So it's going to come down to BLJ's Fire Sea. This is really exciting. Slip has played really well to make that comeback after that early BLJ mishap. And yeah, I mean, really exciting stuff, guys. I have no idea who's going to win. This could be anyone's game. It's going to come down to something really small. Once again, chip clip nailed by Benji. Both are going to try front sub, and Slippery gets it. Perfect star grab. Benji nails it, and good star grab. So they're about 5 or so seconds apart right now.
It's going to be really important for them to hit this Fire Sea early cycle, and we're going to see the
gotta get pole glitch
again. Yeah, exactly.
Gotta nail pole glitch. It almost feels random sometimes. It's just so frustrating, and Slip gets it. He gets a much better jump off of the pole than he did last time. Benji, unfortunately, does not get it. He gets it a second time. I've never seen that before. Maybe I don't watch enough 16, and maybe because people reset in world record attempts when that happens, but that was really impressive. I didn't know you could actually back that up into a pole glitch.
Yeah, it's very rare, of course, but it allows you to get the wall kick ledge grab version of the cycle, which is generally what you're going to see from runners who don't go for the pole glitch. You can get a ledge grab list without pole glitch, but it's hard.
I was watching Benji. Did Slip go for ultimate?
Yes, he did. That was very clean. Good to see.
That was super clean. I was kind of... I still have trouble paying attention to both things at once, but at the corner of my eye, I saw Slip go for ultimate. That was really good. Benji with the deficit, but BLJs, guys, they're very difficult. This is really fast. 13-12, getting the second key. We're looking at maybe a 15-minute time for both runners, which would be super, super cool. Slippery has the first game, if you guys remember. So he does, if he wins, it is a best 2 of 3, correct? Voice crack,
yeah.
Sorry. So let's see here if you can nail the BLJs. This is what it all comes down to, guys. 16 star in a nutshell. Can you nail the last trick in the game, which can be, okay, good setup, and he's catching. Oh, goodness.
Good speed, yeah.
Not the best BLJ possible, but getting it first try is more than good enough for Slip. And let's see if he can get this BLJ is much, much, much easier. Benji nails it as well, gets to the stairs, and pretty solid. Unfortunately for Benji, Slippery did so well that he's not going to make up any time via BLJs, and it's going to come down to either a mistake in Bowser in the Sky or potentially a missed Bowser throw. There is one jump that these guys seem to nail every time that, I don't know if there's a name for it, that corner jump. Oh, and we see our first mistake from Slip in a long time, that fall. That's going to allow Benji to get back into the race. Very tight. Sorry. Gosh, and is he going to go... All right, he's going right side. And this is the jump I was talking about. I don't know what it's called, and he falls!
The missed moving right side! Alright, this is absolutely massive for Benji at this point. Hera, X-Ho in chat found moving right side. The rage worked. I cannot believe that actually happened there. So the moving right side triple jump wall kick in bits is obviously very mechanical. The difficulty goes standing left side, moving left side, standing right side, moving right side in terms of difficulty and time saves, of course.
Very unfortunate, and now getting a little bit of trouble. Oh no, so something is going wrong. I guess the manual switch took a little longer, which is understandable. He nails the throw. So that is one throw from Benji. He's getting perfect lineup, and another throw from Benji. And
we'll close out the race.
Oh, that's gonna be close. He got it.
Game 3. Game 3.
He got it. Oh, and Slip misses the first throw. Benji, the question now is, will he get a sub 16? It's going to be very close, and yes, looks like a 15:58. Slip not that far behind. He was in a pretty comfortable lead until he missed moving right side, not once but twice. Looks like he's probably going to end up with somewhere near 16:20. So, like we talked about, it really comes down to, you said this, Dry, it's a run of tricks, and unfortunately for Slip, the tricks just went Benji's way. Slip messed up the BLJs and moving right side, and Benji was able to get enough of those tricks consistently enough to eke out that second game. But very talented runners. They are both tied 1 apiece. Benji a 15:58, very impressive time. And what do you think we're going to see this third, the rubber match as they call it?
Yeah, has been an incredible set to watch so far, and at this point, both runners are warmed up. They're both playing the game. Benji has got to be feeling a little bit better going into race 3 than he was race 2. He's got his controller issues figured out. He's going to be turning on the light in his room to be able to see the chords, to be able to switch them a little bit faster than he did this run. So it's going to be really exciting to see both of these runners in hopefully what we can call peak form for today. Hopefully neither of them start to fall off in race 3 here. And I mean, look at the PBs. It's a 27 second deficit. If Slipperynip and Benji play optimally, Slipperynip wins, right? The numbers don't lie.
The thing is with those numbers, and I've talked about this before, they're deceptive. Because there's a big difference between having the God run where you nail every trick and being able to nail those tricks on any given run. In world record attempts, it doesn't really matter if you reset 10,000 times or 100 times. What we care about is the one run where you get them all. In a race, we care what happens on any given run. So consistency actually ends up being a lot more valuable, and it's hard to know between the two runners just looking at a PB who is more consistent at the tricks. You would expect it would be Slip with that big, lead in PB, but it's hard to know. Some people are really good at nailing the easier tricks and consistently, pumping out 1530s. And some people are better at just, it's the Puncation versus Nindide sort of philosophy, right? You go for the hardest strats possible, not caring how many times you reset, or do you master the quote-unquote easy strats and just consistently put up top-tier times?
Yeah, it can be really tough here, and especially in the race setting in this tournament here, where we're going to see a lot of world record level runners go up against some longer category runners, and that's where the different play styles can really start to show themselves in these race results, even if the runs are only 16, 17 minutes or even less, as we've seen here with Benji's run. So it's going to be exciting to see how this race 3 goes. Looks like the runners are ready here. We're going to be starting very shortly, and this truly has been an exciting time here, and 16 star, man, it really can. Like, that exemplifies 16 star right there. What happened? The missed triple jump wall kick on the right side. It's devastating.
And you were talking about the 4 different jumps, moving left, moving right, standing left, standing right. I saw when the last run I did, I think someone did standing left, which you said is the slowest but the easiest. But how much time does moving right really save over standing left? And, is it worthwhile? And that's something runners have to decide in fractions of a second. And is it something they can do on command? Is it something they've practiced? And, personally, if I were, doing like a race and if it was a lot on the line, I might practice the slower strats that are more consistent. But, obviously the upside to doing all the world record strats and nailing them, I mean, listen, if Slip got a 14:58, he would win. Like, there's no chance anyone beats that in a race, Like, mastering world record strats cannot be understated, but there is something you said for mastering the easier strats that are a little bit more consistent.
Yeah, there certainly is something to be said for that, and the difference between the right side and the left side is really just a difference in how much you move the stick after and before the wall kick, so it's a pretty significant difference. The right and left sides are not the same movements on the stick at all, so you have to have pretty different timings on when you move the stick, so it's not something that if you're really practiced on one side, you can't just whip it out on the other. So as you've mentioned, practicing the easier and the backup strats is what matters in a race setting if you happen to mess up these strats. And like we saw with the triple box jump in Hazy Maze gave from Benji, he knew he was going to mess that up at some point, and he was ready to back it up. And that's the stuff that's going to matter in this race more so than your PB.
For sure. And this is why, like, I love races, but it's important to know there are people, theoretically and in practice, who excel at races who might not be as good at world records. And vice versa. I'm not saying that's true of these runners. I'm just saying in generally, just so people are aware, when you're watching a race, there is a bit of a different skill set being tested. And it's very cool, it's very interesting, but it is different.
Very different indeed. And we're going to hopefully see Slip coming back soon.
I believe Benji's going to the bathroom. One of them said they're going to the bathroom, I think.
Yeah, Benji said he's back now, so I don't know where Slip is.
Not sure either.
I suppose at this point, looking at the context of the tournament here, this is Seed 2 of Slipperynip versus Seed 7, that is Benji. So it's a pretty big deficit in terms of their results in the group stages, so it's pretty exciting to see.
Is this a single knockout? Like, if Slip loses, is he out of the tournament, or does he go to a loser's bracket? How does it work?
Yeah, it's a double elimination, so there is going to be a loser's bracket. So whoever loses here will have another chance to come back and win in the finals.
Okay. Still, you don't want to be in that loser's bracket. You definitely want that, you know, that second potential loss possibility. So it's a big game for either player. You know, I don't know what we're gonna see. Definitely, I would say Slip has an advantage, not just due to the PB, but Benji not getting his controller switcher on. You know, it's not working. That's gonna be a bit of an annoyance that he usually wouldn't have to face. So definitely Slip would have a bit of an advantage off the bat, but of course it comes down to executing tricks. Can Slip play, execute those tricks, just be consistent enough to use that advantage, or will Benji manage to I guess get a bit of an upset?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it'll be really exciting, and as I mentioned, like seed 7 to seed 2, that matchup, it's pretty significant, and it'll be exciting to see if Benji can kind of take the win here. And I've got channel points on the line, of course, for Benji.
I didn't know we were supposed to or allowed to bet. I want to be unbiased. I don't care who wins. I mean,
oh, yeah, that might have been a bit unprofessional.
I did raid Slip a couple nights ago though, so maybe showing my bias, but I don't, I just want to see a good match. I just want to see a good match. I want to see good plays. I want to see players having fun, which is hard because there's no cameras, but I'm assuming they're having fun.
All right, the racers are ready. We've seen Slipperynip reset his console. We're gonna be off shortly.
So this is something I've brought up a couple times, and it's interesting. Do you think there's going to come a time where N64 is no longer the default anymore?
Oh, this is a hot topic. I think no, N64 will always remain the default, so to speak.
I'm on the opposite side of this one. I want it to go to anyone who knows me knows I never emulate. I don't download ROMs. I want to be as legit as possible, but it's just, I was looking for an N64 for someone, and the prices are so crazy that I feel like at some point, that switch is going to have to happen. That there's got to be, it's just not affordable anymore to have an N64. Well, it's less legit in the sense, sorry, just responding to someone in chat, in the sense that, you're not playing, like Project 64 1.6, there are differences, right? The reason why it's less legit is that basically the lag, it doesn't play exactly like an N64. It's not the same. We're seeing a ton of lag reduction strats, specifically in Dire Docs, we can point them out, that make a huge difference. So if they were to switch main categories, a lot of strategies would actually change in little subtle ways that matter.
Yeah, I mean, we have separate tournaments here and separate leaderboards in terms of the emulator and N64 console split, so it's not a huge issue in most cases, and we've come up with solutions. And I believe, I mean, you can run on whatever you want. It's not really an issue of legitimacy or one console or platform being better than the other.
Oh, no, for sure. I mean, listen, I run an emulator, but I was just saying, like, when someone said, like, I made the offhanded comment, like, I try and play things quote-unquote legit, but I didn't mean that from a speedrunning perspective. I actually meant that from a casual perspective. Anyway, Benji nailing the BLJ right off the bat. Slippery took a little bit of time to set it up, but he's got it as well.
And this is the first time that we've seen a first try LBLJ from both runners. As I mentioned, they're both warmed up and ready to move the red man.
Oh, and, no, what just happened to Benji?
All right, I gotta stop talking for a little bit, I think. And Benji taking a fall on that red coin there, truly an unfortunate mistake to make. At least it's an early death, but it's still a death in Dark World that's pretty massive.
Yeah, that's still, like, the thing is, you think, oh, he died so early, but he got to hit the switch again. He's got to, first re-enter. Like, there's a lot of time you lose just by dying and having to re-enter the stage, even if it was an instant death. So that's probably going to give Slip about a 20-second or so lead. And that's pretty significant. It's definitely, we've seen runners overcome that in this tournament, in this match. But it is a lead for sure that Slip now has to work with. And potentially might encourage him to do texture setup again. Well, actually, he's done it every time. Sorry, it's Benji who went for Salt. So I can see a texture setup coming. I don't know. Would you, would you watch the other runner and see what they were doing in the race, or would you just have your own screen and not care about them at all?
I mean, I'm not very good at races personally. That's just not my play style. But I tend to try to not watch and just keep on playing. But in a case like this, where they're in the race 3 and Benji knows he's certainly at a time loss at this point, it might be the move strategically to look and see what you can and can't go for.
I mean, to be fair, Dry, I'm bad at speedrunning, so I don't know what I would do personally. It's something it's something that always interested me. Is it worth? Will it mess you up to see what they're doing and take you out of your game, or can you play more strategic, knowing what they're doing and adjusting your strategy to maybe something safer because you know you have the time to spare? So we're seeing about a 1-star lead essentially, I would say at this point from Slip, based on how long the stars usually take. He has tended to go for cannonless first, but this time he's going for double jump owlless. Messed it up last time, nails it this time, perfect. That's really good to see from Slip. Benji, will he go for cannonless? Usually they don't go for wild blue, that's usually saved as a backup. So he is going for cannonless, and he went for, that looked like YOLO. Did not get it and is backing it up with wild blue. Was that Salt or was that YOLO?
Yeah, that was Salt. We saw the Mario cam, kind of the stutter after the single jump off the gray platform.
Oh, sorry about that. I wasn't sure if he was salting or... So YOLO cannonless is what they used to do. That was the worst strat ever.
Yeah, OG, way back in the day, just kind of run off and cross your fingers.
Pretty sure Aki used YOLO. I'm almost like 99% sure Aki's run used, yes. Salt and Ginger. I will never forget that, Saren. Salt and Ginger. Not Salt and Peppa, the group, the iconic music group. So, like we said, about a 1-star lead for Slip over Benji. Benji still has to do owlless, and Slip is heading down to SSL. Fortunately, Benji, he does the side flip, the hop, the jump, he's got it. Not the optimal star grab, but that doesn't waste very much time at all. So, one thing I find really cool, maybe it's just me, you're about to see a kick around the corner. I don't know why, it looks so cool, man. This one. I don't know, I love that kick. It looks so cool to me.
Yeah, speed kick is really neat, and we're going to see around a 24-second lead on the side of Slipperynip, but his plus doesn't work out too well. He has to throw away the big bomb for one reason or another, and he jumps up the pier, but does not go for that Talon backup, so if he misses, again, it could cause some issues. Really missing the third time is where it starts to cause a problem in terms of a big time loss.
Every time you compliment the runner, something goes wrong. You are literally doing commentator's curse this run.
Yeah, this entire time, and
no!
misses it a second time. He's gonna have to go for the Talon backup this time. I imagine he's just gonna jump up on top of the pyramid. And we usually see this backup first as opposed to pyramid, but he's gonna hit the bird anyway. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. Gets a slide. Oh!
Nice save. Nice save.
Yeah, good jump. There's a small platform there where you would normally walk along, but in this case, it interrupts the slope that you try to use for sliding. And at this point, not even going to go for pillarless. It's not worth the time loss, and he's going to be going for both volcano stars in LLL.
Oh, interesting. I was watching Benji, and I didn't notice. He just skipped pillarless altogether. I've never seen that before. That is an interesting strat. I don't really think it wastes that much time to do it. They're both semi-fast stars, but really, sorry, hit the mic there. Really interesting. I was literally gesturing, so I'm like, that's how like intriguing this is, the strategy. I wonder if this pays off. You know, if you're not getting a trick, can you go for another fast star? It's fascinating. This is a great race, man. Really good to see. So he's going for elevator and volcano. So we're going to see elevator star for the first time. And he's not going to go for it right now. He's going to go for volcano. Or is he going to go for bullies? Do you think it's possible, Dry, he goes for bullies?
Elevator star is faster. It's not very hard either. I think he's confident enough.
Fair enough. We did see that grab. So I've mentioned every time how cool those pole jumps are. He grabs the pole there. It's so easy to do that. And just like that, the lead is a slight one to Slip. But, you know, it's bit of a deceptive lead because he does have to do an extra star in LLL.
Yeah, we're not gonna have numbers on it for a little while here, unfortunately. I'm not really sure who the lead is, but Slipperynips and Benji's logless slash slide hop slash corner jump connect. I'm gonna see Slipperynip enter the stage again.
Yeah, he's gonna enter, and what is he gonna do?
Yeah, he's going for the bully star at this point, saving the elevator for last.
Okay, saving elevator for last. Unfortunately, he burns. Is he gonna go for? Oh, that's unfortunate. He gets not just the burn, but he doesn't get to even do the side flip backup. Benji, let's see if he gets the clean. Oh, that was clean. Really good from Benji, and they are both exiting the stage pretty much on the same frame. But Slip's got to go back into the stage and get that final star. Benji, meanwhile, I think he has the bully star that Slip just did. So, we are seeing the volcano as you suggested, Dry. He's going to go for elevator star. Not a very difficult star for sure, but a slightly longer star than bully. So, I think at this point, Benji might... Oh, maybe not. Oh. That's like on the frame. They're literally tied to the frame.
That sync is absolutely
That's
insane.
Crazy.
Wow, okay. So, not quite a lead for either runner at this point. We're gonna see how Hazy Maze Cave goes.
Oh my god, I can't... So, one thing, this is the weirdest thing. Slip's in Lakitu Cam. Oh, okay, because they're going for different stars. So Slip was in Lakitu Cam. Benji was in Mario Cam. I didn't know if that was preference, but they're going for different stars, which makes sense. Slip went for the C-up Rolling Rocks. Benji nails the triple jump, over the ceiling. GTM slide, even though I don't know if GTM discovered it. So another question I always had, but someone answered me, is that when you go for Toad, it's just preference. As long as it's not right at the end, you can get Toad whenever. So Benji's gonna desync things, go for Toad. Maybe he hears me and he's trying to mess me up. I kid. Nailed by Slip, the triple jump box. Really, really great. This is some really great sustained play. After that mess up by Slip, he has pretty much played perfectly, and Benji has pretty much matched him trick for trick. And I have no idea. This is going to be one of the most... Okay, he just came up with using it there. Thank you, RTA Dan. I did not know that.
Yeah, he has a tutorial on it. It's pretty neat. It's definitely a trick that he was a main proponent of and brought it into popularity.
Now someone's saying he didn't. This was a debate last time someone called it GTM slide. I think we'll have to ask GTM. I think GTM will have to be asked, but wow, guys. We see left and right, and they both exit. Oh my god, what is going on?
Yeah, so Benji had a slight lead moving into that star, while Slipperynip, the left side, it saved him some time here, and we're basically neck and neck again at this point. So the left side does matter. The small things are going to matter in this race here. We'll see a difference in grabs. A major difference in grabs as Benji doesn't even get one.
So I don't know if the angle grab or the perpendicular grab, but one thing Slip is really, really good at is MIPS. He has one of the most consistent MIPS I've seen. I watch a lot of 16. Actually, really good from Benji. That's probably his best through that door. Kenny, he took him 3 times last time to get through this door. Unfortunately, it's going to take him at least more than once. And he gets in with the somersault. So that's going to give Slip his first big-ish lead. Benji does go for chip, so that's going to take a little bit, assuming he gets it. I wonder if he even goes for it, because if he misses this, he doesn't. Thank gosh for him. That would be about a 7-second loss, and that could really seal the deal. Flip doesn't usually mess up front sub, but that could allow Benji to come back in if he does, but he does not. Front sub's really difficult, guys, and we were talking about N64 versus emulator in VC. A lot of lag right here, making it really, really, really challenging, but they both nail it. All clips are called Wilco clip. All right. So, unfortunately, Slip burns.
that's gonna ruin his not only just the pole glitch, but the early cycle in general. And this is major for Benji at this point. This is really exciting.
If he nails pole glitch though, that's the keys. Benji now's got to nail pole glitch, and he misses it.
He had dusty dives there, and as soon as you get any frames of dust, the trick gets hard. And it becomes RNG at that point as opposed to a tight setup. So Benji and Slippery here are going to be catching an unoptimal cycle.
Yes, and you might be wondering why the heck was Slip just waiting there, because he knows he can't catch the cycle anyway. Oh, he misses the jump.
Oh, Slippery!
Oh my gosh, he
no
falls. Way! This is huge for Benji.
He's now not even catching the normal cycle.
Oh gosh, a cycle ahead for Benji.
That becomes like 8 seconds. Like that. This is absolutely massive for Benji. It's go time for him right now.
He's gotta nail the throw. Hopefully the controllers, everything that's good, because oh my gosh, that was not ideal from Slip.
Not at all. Mario meltdown indeed. Some spaghetti on the floor, perhaps even in the gutter at this point.
But the truth is, it's not over yet. It is still a very, very close race right now. They're about, like you said, about 8 seconds, and BLJs can really mess you up. So the question is, can Benji nail the BLJs? If he does, I mean, he's got a really good shot. There are other tricks, but the BLJs are the big remaining trick. Benji's got to get them first or at worst second try. Yeah, there's not much I can really say at this point. Yeah. It's really got to... Oh, sorry, Dry.
Maybe I shouldn't talk, given the history of this set. But, Benji's nice first try, 50-star door, BLJ, Slipperynip gonna be having to match that here to try to stay competitive.
Looks like he's got it as well. A pretty good clip. I think he actually cut down the lead a little bit because it was a bit of a cleaner one. Benji's having a little bit of trouble catching on the infinite staircase. He's got it now, but can Slip at a really
Slippery Nip. Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
Oh, we have a race.
This is a race. It's and Slip doesn't get a clean drop. Oh, gosh, this is
Slipperynip. It might be a mental thing at this point. He's making very uncharacteristic mistakes at this point. I mean, he had the meltdown and fire sea, and now with small ledge grabs like that, he's got to mentally reset. And throws are a very small frame window to actually hit. So if he can make it to throws and he's still competitive with Benji, it could become a big issue.
Moving right side. Benji nails it. Benji nails moving right side. It's all down to throws at this point, I would say. Slip nails moving right side. They've both nailed that trick. He's got the jump, and
Benji dodges the Goomba. Slippery not even gonna have to deal with the Goomba. And it's throws, guys. It's throws.
All right, guys. It's all come down to this. Benji versus Slip. Grabs Bowser. That's one for Benji. Perfect regrab.
Not one from Slippery. There it is. The missed throw. As I mentioned, the Bowser throws are incredibly difficult.
Benji sealed the deal. He's got it.
Benji, and that's the third for Benji. Ladies and gentlemen, we have seen the upset in the first match of the playoffs here in the 16-star Open Cool Cat Gang Tournament, Nintendo 64 division. Benji going to be closing it out 2-1. Lost the first race to hardware issues and is able to mentally reset himself to snag a 16:08 to finish the set. Congratulations.
The crazy thing is, you mentioned that, Dry. If he doesn't have those hardware issues, who knows what happens in that first race. Benji played, and this is what we're talking about, he played very consistent, you know, low 16s or sub 16. You know, I think that's an average his last two runs of just around 16 minutes. Slip played well. 16:30 is not a bad race time, but Benji was just able to be a little bit more consistent. The two misses with the pillarless star definitely made things a little closer. And then, of course, the meltdown in Bowser and the Fire Sea. Very unfortunate for Slip. Really strong play from Benji. I'm expecting Slip will probably make it pretty far in loser's bracket, and we will not be seeing. We'll be seeing some more of him. Maybe even a rematch in the finals. Who knows? Very solid play from both these runners.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal race. The best 16 race I've watched in quite a long time.
Frame perfectly synced at one point. It was absolutely nuts. Just really dramatic. This is anything, as a commentator, as a viewer, this is what you want to see. This is why you want to subscribe, follow Cool Cat Gang. These races are continuing. If you thought this run is good, trust me, guys, we've got some really good races coming up. And I think we have Benji in the chat right now, or
Hey,
in
what's
the
up?
Discord.
How does it feel? Congratulations, by the way.
I'm really happy. I actually like I haven't been playing much in the past days because I really didn't feel like playing, but yeah, I didn't think much on the first race. I was like, oh nice, my switcher died. It doesn't work anymore. And I was like, yeah. And the second race I was like, oh, how am I in the lead? And then I focused a lot on the third race and I somehow did it. But it's kind of unlucky for Slip. Like, I saw some mistakes in Fire City and they should really never happen. But still, big GG's to him.